Ladies and gents, welcome to Miami. As we all know by now, Miami is basically David Beckham's post-retirement pet project. Technically called Club Internacional de Fútbol Miami, to appeal to the overwhelming Latin fan base in the area, Inter Miami CF is basically the easier way to remember. Back at the end of his playing days, Beckham had an option to purchase an expansion team at a fairly reasonable price upon his retirement. By the end of 2013, it looked fairly certain that a new team in Miami would be it, and by February the next year, it was set in stone. Currently, Inter Miami's home field is just about 30 miles north of the city in Fort Lauderdale, while their main stadium, Miami Freedom Park, is built over the next couple of years. And as you can see, the plans look absolutely phenomenal. I can't wait to see this thing in real life. So as we go to the club competition, you can see we are rich. I do like that. It kind of makes things, well, you'd think it makes things a little easier, but I'll show you in a little bit. It really doesn't. You can see the captain, Luis Robles, 36-year-old goalkeeper. Not too shabby. I mean, he is 36. We do need to find a better one. I'll show you those in a minute. Well, I won't show you those because we don't have any, but that's a different story. Vice captain, we don't have any. I was originally thinking that this was going to be, we've had no competition at all. We have no history whatsoever. However, I'm really noticing just now as I record this, it is January 3rd, 2021. So we are talking a couple months from now after they've already had their actual initial season, coming in, into the playoffs, losing the first round, but still not too bad a first season. However, we are starting a year from that point that I thought we were. So it is January 3rd, 2021. Obviously, they still have not put the history into the game. But, we can fake it as now. Key player, Gonzalo Higuain. The other one is Matuidi, obviously. Hot prospect, Jairo Quinteros, who, let's see, 4 pros. That's your hot prospect? Damn. But also, as you can see, Inter Miami CF Stadium is where we will play in Fort Lauderdale. It was known, or it is currently known, I don't know, as Lockhart Stadium. So I'm not really sure what its current name is, but I guess Inter Miami CF Stadium is what it will be. It will be basically the home of Fort Lauderdale CF, which is their development team or their reserve team. But for right now, I think they're both sharing it until Miami Freedom Park can actually be built in the next couple of years. I believe it's a year or two away. So as for club vision, you can kind of see that they want everything when it comes to signing new players. They want to, sign players under the age of 21 for the future. However, they also want to sign young players to develop for profit. So I've never been a huge fan of that, but, we'll see how things go. Position-wise, though, they want to grow the club's reputation, spend the original transfer budget, which we don't have any, so I don't understand what that means. But they basically want us to be competitive in the league. They want us to be mid-table in the Supporters' Shield. And Lamar Hunt, U.S. Cup reach the semifinal minimum. So we'll see. But again, that's only preferred. These two are required. Be competitive. I don't really know what that means. If we miss out on the playoffs, maybe that'll be okay. And for those of you who don't know, the US doesn't really employ a relegation system as of yet. The way they do things is by going through the season, coming up with the top teams in each division, and then having a playoff system just like the lower English leagues have. But in this case, the winner, instead of getting promoted, becomes the MLS champion, and that is pretty much all she wrote for the season. You kind of rinse, repeat. You start over the next season with new players, new everything, and everyone's set at 0. As for the squad, you can kind of see we have an okay squad. It's not bad. There are definitely areas to increase, which I still kind of have to figure out fully. But overall, with the likes of Carranza as striker, as a future star, then you've got Matuidi, who looks, beast as usual. Higuain, beast as usual. Physical's not great. Although not so much his brother, Federico Higuain. He looks average for the team. Definitely nowhere near his brother, but still, the others are absolute beasts right now. And then you've got Pizarro. Can't forget Pizarro, who's looking fairly good. He's better than a lot of the other players on the team, but still not as good as, Higuain and all. But overall, we do have a somewhat good attack setup. And then you've got Figal and Perez. Let's see, Figal. Bravery of 16 is not too bad. Balance of 16. Yay, balance. And then Perez. who 16 aggression, 16 bravery, concentration not so great. But at the back for those two, again, we're not looking too bad overall. We do have some problems as backups. And I think that's kind of what we have to figure out. And I think that's kind of why the club vision wants us to go for more younger players and try and figure that youth side setup before we do anything else. Again, we saw the attack, we saw the defense. The midfield is kind of where we're lacking. We do have Will Trapp, who I believe was a former, I don't know if he's like an MLS all-star. All-stars are kind of the best players of the league. But I don't think he's blowing any skirt ups this time around. Natural fitness of 16 is terrific. Obviously, I love fitness. But in the other area is the future keeper area. I mean, we've got McCarthy's, obviously, he's been transfer listed already. I didn't do anything with that. And then Drake Callender. Drake Callender. What a name. I'm Drake Callender. But, so obviously we need a better goalkeeper. Dev Center, you can see Fort Lauderdale FC, not really showing us anything. Inter Miami Academy, which is our, obviously, academy. We have a okay potential here, but I mean, still only a half a star. Long way off. So we'll have to figure out that in quote unquote the transfer market. So, I mean, we'll basically see how things go. Transfer wise. So, obviously, this isn't the Premier League. This is America. Things can't be just as easy as finding new players to buy. In this system, we're really dealing with a $0 transfer budget. I do have it set in pounds since most of my viewers are in the UK, I would imagine. But only 10.87K per week payroll available. So we can buy some players with that, or we can get some free players with that and pay them, but it's not going to be a lot. And here you don't just buy players, you trade and you draft for them. So there's a lot of different ways to get players. However, they're not as easy as just buying things. So I'm not used to this system in terms of playing a game. I'm obviously used to this. I love baseball. I love football. I love, American football. I love soccer, quote unquote, your football, blah, blah, blah. But I'm not used to actually playing a game where you are doing this kind of trading and all that, and I suck at it. So we will see how we do. But in the meantime, I do have Freak Vandalin, who I obviously love that both DRDL position, but he is from our academy, so I've given him a contract. I've given Pedro Felipe a contract, who's a winger who's also phenomenal. Let's see, take a look. You don't have your stats there, so you're not helping me at all. So you can see here, he's got some serious potential. So does Freak Vandelin. And I probably should give one to Christian Macoun, but we're going to have to wait. But basically that's how it seems to be, is that you give contracts to your younger players who are really good, just so nobody steals them in all the thousands of freaking drafts that they have in this game. So it's basically going to be an interesting couple of seasons, most of which I'm sure I'm going to screw up in one way or another. The sheer rules of how many players of each type I can have is baffling enough. But first up, I'm actually going to throw a quick intra-squad friendly here before the super draft. So let's just get to it. Now, before I get into this first game, friendly, it's not even really a game. The only new additions I did want to say beyond Vandalin and Felipe are several scouts. Our scouting department was a single man at the start of the save, and now, as you can see, we've kind of grown it just a tad. So hopefully that'll help in the seasons to come. And really, the only reason I'm going to bring you this friendly is to see the first ever game played on our pitch. I'm so excited and incredibly nervous for this save. You can't even imagine. As I mentioned in the last Portsmouth video, this is really how I want to learn how the MLS works and how to really support this team in real life. I've been supporting them as much as I can, but now is kind of the time where I really need to dig in and actually just get into these games and this team itself. At opposition instruction for Federico Higuain, go hard when tackling. Okay, that was pretty quick. Didn't realize that would go so quickly. Blaise Matuidi is already complacent. Are you kidding me? I know that basically there are two versions that... There we go, Aguadella with the first goal. But there are two versions that I have right now. One is a 4-3-3 with a DM, and one is a 4-2-3-1 with an attacking midfield center. I have seen one a 4-2-3-1 online that seems to be fairly well used in this. I don't know if I'll adapt it at all, but for right now, we're doing fairly well. 6 minutes in, and we're already 1 up, and almost 1 all, so that just kind of blew it. Matuidi, who is that to? I guess we're going to have to be doing some shorter passing there. Let me guess. It is shorter passing. Shorter passing. It's on shorter passing. Why is he not doing shorter passing? Higuain, what a fantastic... I mean, a horrible finish, but what a fantastic set of plays right there. Some great passing. Why is Agudelo and Matuidi sad? And Pellegrini? Do you not want to be here or something? I mean, there's no reason for you guys to be down in the dumps. Matuidi is now happy. You can f*** off, man. I actually like Matuidi as an actual player. But still, what the hell is going on? Complacent. Again, what was that? Why are players pumping it up the pitch when there's nobody to receive the ball? I'm not understanding this. But, holy cow, that would have been terrific. Carranza. That's it, right? Carranza, yeah. Okay. Getting these names all wrong. But he is going to be, hopefully, one for the future. He will, I'm going to assume he's going to be getting some game time here and there. But Sweat to Pellegrini, back to Sweat. And, passes Ujoa, who I don't think the board care for very much. I gotta look at that a little more, because they've already transfer listed him and I forget the other dude. But Pizarro, who is supposed to be, oh yeah, Higuain was offsides, and into the stands. But Pizarro, Higuain, and Matuidi, I believe, are our 3 designated players, which basically means they don't have to earn. Wow, Robles, you couldn't hold on to that? That was pretty sad. But it means they could basically be on gobloads of money right now, while most everyone else, I mean, you're under a salary cap structure, and these players don't fully count for that, which is good, because you can get some great players in. However, that's still a lot of money going to them. Vandalen, Ujoa. I mean, obviously, I want all these players to succeed. However, 1-0 against your second squad means I don't know what's going on. And things are probably not the way I hoped. So, Felipe, Sosa, Morgan, Rob, I mean, these guys are just passing it back and forth. And then finally, there's the tire. There's the tire. There's the equalizer is what I'm trying to say. But that means we're going to come out of our first 11 versus second 11 with a 1-all draw. Probably not the best of results. Norman to Agudelo, over to Mendez from a corner. What are you going to do with it on the corner of the box? Absolutely nothing, apparently. Gonzalez, Perez, Pizarro, Pellegrini, able to get to it, but still gets beaten in the end. Again, what is with the smack up? Higuain is not going to get that ball. There's no reason to pump it up that far. And I have not figured out. It's kind of like when if you're into coding, like HTML, Cold Fusion, Java, whatever, and things are just not working right and you just can't find it. You can't find the reason why. And that's the end of the match. 1-all draw. So that's pretty shitty right there. Only Pizarro and Agudelo shine in the moment. Higuain a 6-6 and a Pellegrini 6-4. I love this type of thing. It's like, you must feel a sense of excitement and pride on the day like this to welcome these 2 new members to your team. They've been in my academy. It's not like they're new to the Miami area. I don't get it. Is Vandalen just 17 years old? Do you see this more as a future? No, I want him playing immediately, right now. He's been thoroughly scouted. He's played under the Inter Miami logo for I don't even know how long. Oh, I hate these things. But I'm going to go through this friendly right now. We do have the Super Draft coming up next week. What I'll probably do is bring you the Super Draft and LA Galaxy, because LA Galaxy is kind of the big thing, one of the big teams in this league. And I know it's a friendly. We'll get in the third episode, we'll get to the actual start of the season. I know you can't see me doing my arm movements because my webcam's still not set up. But I'm going to leave it there for now. I am Sefian FM. This is Inter Miami. And I'm going to see how badly I screw this sucker up. So stay tuned. Take care and enjoy.